You ever wanted to play as a gay black samurai? Well, now you can with the Ubi brand new quadruple A game. For the low price of $89 and after tax around $100, you can play as a totally correct historical samurai in which they no way disrespect the culture. And about the price, I'm in Canada, it costs around $100. But first off, I'm gonna tell you what I like, what I don't like, and I'll tell you if it's worth spending $100 on, $70 if you're in the US, and then I'll tell you if Mike Wazowski is fuckable. And spoiler alert, he is. Mike Wazowski could get it. First off, the graphics in the world. They did fucking perfect with it. Ubisoft absolutely cooked with this, bro. It looks amazing. Like, I feel like I could see the inner pores of these characters' eyelids and everything. These graphics and the world looks really good. I mean, it doesn't look as good as something like Elden Ring or Red Dead 2, but it still looks really good. And if I had to rate it, I would probably give it a high 9. It's a really good looking thing. Even for $90 to $100, right, it's still really good. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Comparing it to like another game like Red Dead 2, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. It still looks really good, like in terms of graphics and stuff. Like, I want to talk about this a bit more. You might think I'm glazing, but I think this might be one of the best worlds we've ever had, like in terms of gaming. Like, it is such a good looking world in graphics. Like, I usually shit on Ubisoft, but they did a great job with the world and graphics. Like, they did a fantastic fucking job. Like, if you don't want to play the game, just look at the world, man. It looks really good. But having a world as big as this comes with a lot of downsides. So, first big downside is, it's really hard to get the horse around and stuff. Like, in this clip right here, it's having AIDS just trying to get through this little fucking wall, right? I hope Ubisoft patches this, right? I mean, it's not a big issue. And I don't think it's like a huge issue. I think it's just like a minor bug. Like, I wouldn't like critique it because there's like some minor bug. It's an open world game. Like, name one open world game that doesn't have a shit ton of bugs or glitches, you know? Another thing I really like, the sound effects. The sound effects are really good. Like, when you're hitting someone and killing someone as Yasuke, you know, you're beating the shit out of someone, chopping someone's head off or something like that, you genuinely feel like it. Like, the sound effects are really heavy and powerful. For stealth, it's not as good, but for like combat, playing as like Yasuke, it feels really good. And by far, the best thing Ubisoft has ever done, and this is probably one of my favorite features of any game ever, you can pet dogs!
You look like a friend.
Granted, it's not as cool as something like Red Dead 2 or Metal Gear Solid or Lost Judgment where your dog can beat the shit out of someone, but I'm still happy that they added this in. Not a lot of games do this, you know, it's pretty cool, small detail, but I love it. Also, I really like the executions and like the dismemberment, like the combat of it. I like how heavy it feels. I like Yasuke's combat way more than Naoe's, like, you know, stealth, right? I like stealth more usually, but, you know, combat of Yasuke is really well done. I'm happy that they polished it a lot. I mean, there is some times where, like, you're trying to, like, curb stomp someone, but then, like, their head just fucking breaks out of nowhere. Like, you're doing nothing, but it just breaks, right? Like, if you're on, like, a higher slope or something, that happens a lot. But I think the combat is well done. But that was about it for the good. Now onto the shit. Onto the bad. And there's a lot of shit in here. It feels like Ubisoft downed a whole bottle of laxatives because, safe to say, there's a lot of shit in here. I think even Elvis Presley would be jealous of all this shit. Onto the first shitty thing, the combat. And you might be thinking, Blackgate, what the fuck are you talking about? You were just glazing the combat like a minute ago. Yeah, take that back. I don't like the combat anymore. Not a big fan of it. It feels too repetitive. I don't like it. I'd give it a 6 out of 10 or something. Pretty mid. Next thing I don't like, the voice acting. I fucking hate it. It's ass. The voice acting fucking sucks. And I don't think it's the voice actor's fault. I think it's just a shitty direction. I think these voice actors have proper talent and are actually good voices, but the direction and what they say is so fucking bad. It sounds so bland. I promise you, if you want to play this game, play it in Japanese. Awful fucking voice acting. Not a big fan of it. And I'm actually gonna show you a cutscene. I promise you, it's not AI. This is literally a real cutscene.
That was the feeling I couldn't place. It's you from that night. So will you gun me down like a coward? I have a better idea. Why don't you tell me what will make this right? You think I would? You are in the strongest position. You offer life, I will. No. I do that, you'll have no. So you won't? No. Then you're of no use to me at all.
That shit was fucking ass, man. I hate that shit so much. I think I'm gonna become a voice actor myself. Hello, madam? Would you want customer support? No. Why not? It is very cheap. I give you 2 for 1. Oh shit! No! Yeah, on second thought, maybe not. Besides, I feel like someone would call me racist for voicing a black character. The next thing on the shit list, the soundtrack. It's really bad. Like, I feel like it's really forgettable. Like, some of the soundtrack is like pretty mid. Like, you know when you get into combat and it starts playing the hip-hop remix music? Really, I'm not a big fan of it. And there's a lot of good games that have great fucking soundtracks. If you ever played Sonic Unleashed, you could probably still remember the sound and the music from the first starting level. Or if you ever played a Mario game like Mario 64. I know it's an old ass game, but you could still probably remember like the fucking music from it, right? With this, I don't remember anything. It's super forgettable. Like in Red Dead 2, right? You know the one level music that you get? Yeah, you can always remember that, or entering Lemoyne as Arthur or John, right? You could always remember that. But in this game, I never remember any of the music. I only remember like one of the songs, and that's like the hip-hop music. And that's about it. I really don't like the soundtrack. I think this is probably gonna be like the lowest one. I think I'm gonna give this like a 2 on the soundtrack. They did a really shitty job with the soundtrack. Another thing I really don't like is the opening cinematic. I had it on like 2.5 speed because it's really fucking boring. Yasuke's just kind of on his knees on the ground bowing and shit like a little bitch. Right, I'm gonna show you another game's intro that's fucking awesome.
Sakamoto Ryoma は上の階や。しかもこの世に存在しないはずのもう一人の自分に切られることになるんやからな。なあ、坂本龍馬さんよ。
That was only a quarter of it, but it literally grabs you by the cock and doesn't let go. By the way, if you want to play that game, it's called Like a Dragon Ishin. It's on PlayStation Plus right now. Actually, I think I'm gonna be done with this whole Assassin's Creed review, right? I don't think I'm built for reviews, man. I think I'm just gonna give it a 6. I don't really like the game. I wouldn't say it's bad. I wouldn't say it's like shit, right? I would just say it's pretty mid, right? Like 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. You choose. I'm really strong about that. Either solid 5 or low 6, right? It's like a solid 5 or 6, right? And to answer the question at the start of the video, yes, I would cream pie Mike Wazowski. But what do you guys think? Do you like Assassin's Creed Shadows? Do you fucking hate it and despise it? I would love to hear what you have to say. Don't do drugs. And that's about it. See ya.